Is everything as it seems in Philadelphia? On paper, the Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts era looks like a success. A 34-17 record, 3 playoff appearances, and an NFC Championship. The offense has been top 10 in points and yards for the past 2 seasons. But behind the scenes, it's a different story. The 2023 season ended disastrously with a 1-5 slump and an early playoff exit. Reports from insiders reveal a fractured relationship between Sirianni and Hurts, with strained communications and differing offensive visions. New offensive coordinator Kellen Moore is seen as a potential bridge to mend the gap. Can the Eagles get back on the same page? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the Eagles' internal struggles and what it means for their future. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button. Based on the results, one might assume that the Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts era for the Philadelphia Eagles is a success. In 3 seasons, the Eagles boast a 34-17 record, have made the playoffs each year, and have an NFC Championship banner to their name. Additionally, the offense has ranked in the top 10 in both points and yards for the past 2 seasons. A closer look might indicate otherwise. 2023 did not end well, with a 1-5 run at the end of the regular season and a wild card round exit at the hands of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. From November onward, the Eagles won once. Reports about organizational camaraderie also suggest some negatives. Diana Rossini of The Athletic highlighted a somewhat strained relationship between Sirianni and Hurts weeks ago. On Wednesday morning, Jeremy Fowler and Tim McManus of ESPN provided a detailed account that reinforced these indications. Things were off, including between the head coach and quarterback. ESPN spoke with several sources who detailed a prolonged strain between Hurts and Sirianni during the 2023 campaign, with one source with direct knowledge of the dynamic describing the relationship as fractured and unhealthy last season. At the root of the divide, a disconnect in offensive visions, with what a team source described as a lack of full respect for Sirianni's X's and O's chops. Throughout the article, there were sources who characterized the relationship slightly differently. Some seemed to paint the struggles to align on the exact same page as normal football organization problems. Others seemed to describe it as a much more pressing issue. The report mentions that a source close to Hurts hopes newly hired offensive coordinator Kellen Moore can bridge the gap between the head coach and the star quarterback. Multiple sources described Hurts as tuned out to Sirianni last season. At one point, Bill Belichick was considered as a potential replacement for Sirianni before the Eagles decided to continue with him, according to the detailed expose. Offensive coordinator Brian Johnson, who was dismissed after the 2024 season, was another figure reportedly out of sync with Sirianni, leaving Hurts often caught between their conflicting directives. The report further states that in the 2024 preparations, Sirianni has stepped back somewhat, allowing Moore to take charge of the quarterback room. Philadelphia Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni and quarterback Jalen Hurts continue to face inquiries about their fractured relationship this summer. On Wednesday, both were questioned about the latest report detailing a prolonged strain between them that affected the Eagles during their collapse last season. "Jalen and I are in a really great place," Sirianni said, per Liam McKeown of Sports Illustrated. "Every relationship that you have needs work with everybody, and we've always continued to try and work at that." Sirianni and Hurts provided similar remarks in late July after it emerged that there was some disconnect between them last season. In a more recent, detailed article by ESPN's Tim McManus and Jeremy Fowler, published on Wednesday, it was stated that there was never a moment during the Eagles' 2023 decline from 10-1 to 11-6 when Sirianni and Hurts were operating in a healthy relationship. Hurts somewhat danced around the topic while speaking with reporters later on Wednesday. "I think sometimes people are only able to know what they understand," Hurts said, as Caden Steele of NJ Advanced Media for NJ.com shared. "Sometimes people don't know what they don't know. But in that regard, I think where we are is you have reports, and you have rumors, and then you have reality, and we're in reality right now. My natural nature is to block out the external factors, because I think there comes a point where sometimes you question so much, and the negativity becomes redundant." One part of the ESPN story revealed that Hurts called former New York Giants defensive coordinator Don Wink Martindale ahead of Philadelphia's wild-card playoff game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past January to discuss weaknesses in Philadelphia's protection and how New York tried to game plan him in Week 16 of the season. That chat didn't prevent the Eagles from suffering a 32-9 defeat at Tampa Bay's Raymond James Stadium. Thanks for watching.